Hello everybody. It's a beautiful day in Minecraft, and we are going to be looking at a design I came up with recently using a particular type of booster that was derived by a user on the Minecraft forums. And before I show you what I came up with, I guess I'll show you his design, or at least what I remember of it. It's pretty much the same, but I was just going by memory. That's what we have over here. And you see the booster down here is activated when the cart on the top of the door falls on it by making the door open or close, depending on where you put the hinges. Of course, right now there's an item blocking the cart. Didn't expect that. And that's pretty much all there is to that one. And what is that? What's happening? Okay. There we go. That was a little weird. There. Now mine is a little bit different. Mine's a little bit different. It uses the door booster idea, but what I wanted to do is see if I can make it modular, basically be able to stack one on top of the other. But in order to do that, you kind of need to make it compact, and you need to finagle the tracks a bit for the cart to actually fall directly on the door the right way. Now, this is the completed version. This is a version with 3 on top of each other. And you can notice that it's inset off by about 1 block on each one. That's basically because the design ended up that way. I can't really figure out a compact way to make it directly modular, stacked directly on top of each other, but this works just fine. And you might be confused by this cart over here off by itself. The only purpose of this is to be able to get out at each level as you go down the system. Just click in here. You're not supposed to get in from this cart, and it's kind of hard to see, but when you're in here, when you're in one of these carts, you can easily get out like this. Just click, right click over there. Now let's see the system in action. Although you can't see much going on, you can just see that the carts are moving. And here's, see the bottom one moves out, the other 2 slide down to the next levels. All the doors open and close at the same time, so that no jumbling of the system happens. You can just keep doing this. Now this is another thing that you might be confused about. Why these are jutting out the side here. Basically, because of the way I designed this system, you can actually have external inputs with the carts. You can have it so that there aren't carts on every level constantly. You can have it so that you can call carts to a particular level. Although you need pretty complicated, not necessarily really complicated redstone circuitry, but you need something relatively complex to be able to do that from every level. I don't know if I'll go over that in the future. I'm sure others have come up with something similar in terms of calling particular minecarts to particular track sections. As you can see right here, I'm underneath one of the carts, and this is its entry point to going down, which might have you asking a few questions instantaneously as to why the track is leading into a block. Well, the cool thing about angled tracks is that, due to a bug of some sort, when they're on angled tracks and they fall through, they can fall through blocks. It's a very odd thing. I'll show you a demonstration right here, although you might not be able to see much when I go through the blocks. Here we go. I was on the bottom level, and I'm an idiot. Here we go. Now we can do this. Into the block. I went through 2 blocks there. You didn't see the second block because I was inside the block the entire time. Now, I can show you what that actually looks like on the outside when I go over here. Actually, I'll have to build on top of these for a second to show you that. Let's see. Here. The cart tracker here. Up. See, there's a problem right there. There's something you really want to take notice of with this, is that these angle tracks, you have to place them in a specific order, otherwise they won't work. Now, you have to place the top one first. And because I didn't do this right away, there's a little bit odd, so I don't know why I'm using this one. This is the wrong one. This one. Now, this sign is important. You want, whenever you're using this design, you want the booster that's powering one of the carts to point in a particular direction. But I'll go into that in more detail in a minute. I might be coming out of nowhere with that right now because you didn't necessarily see the booster in action earlier. Back to what I was doing before with this. You need one right here and one right here. We want the track to go right above this block. First you place the top one, that's important. Also important is to place this top one, so that this track is connected to something already. Then simply place this one and look. The bottom one doesn't move. That's a very important thing. It does that only if this particular track over here is facing either west in this sense or south. Otherwise this design won't work. Now, take this card out of here. Little staircase. Let's see. There's the booster in action. You see the cart has no problem going through the block because of the angled tracks. And when it gets down here, the booster takes over. Another important thing is this block right here. If this block wasn't here, the cart would just fly off in any direction. It wouldn't go straight. This block keeps it going straight. And you noticed that when it went up this angled one over here, it popped out a little bit. To prevent that, you just put another block there. Even though it really doesn't affect it, it's nice to have it a little bit more stable. And doing it this way will ensure that the design always works. You won't have any problems with this.